Hello, hello, hello. It is I, Kathleen. I'm the author of Hurt People Help People and also the body book, A Lesson About Inappropriate Touch. I apologize for my tardiness, but just found out that one of my features was not going to work. So we had to shuffle around some things and do things differently. You know, technology. But hi, guys. Welcome to TBB Contact 3 virtual live class. We're going to cover four things during this class. Those four things will be number one, basic awareness. Number two is going to be how to identify predators. Number three is going to be intro to sex trafficking. And number four is going to be a bonus where I am going to show you how to use the reporting app. I'll help you download it. It's absolutely free and you can use the reporting app. So let's get to crack-a-lackin' here, as they say. So this will not be in any specific order, but first let me give you a little bit of background about myself. I am Kathleen Hare. Like I said, I'm the author of this book. Also, the book Hurt People Help People is actually a copy of this book. It is the same book. The only difference is the cover is different, but it is the absolutely same book. So if you get Hurt People Help People, or you can get this one with the radio on the front, I just did a different cover. It's absolutely the same book. So let's get into what I want you guys to basically walk away with. So first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm the author. I wrote this book in 2011. You know how people always say your pain, let your pain have purpose. Well, this is one of those situations where my pain of what I suffered through sexual trauma as a child has now transferred into purpose. And that's why the name of my book, instead of people saying hurt people, I said no, hurt people help people. Because when you come from a place of pain and trauma and you overcome it and you live past it and you heal and you learn how to manage your life, well, then you're able to share that with other people, but also to bring to focus the point that there are some things in our community that needs to be eradicated and eliminated and stopped and prevented. And so that's what I do. And so basically, I wrote the book. I've been featured at WXIX in Cincinnati, Ohio on Fox 2 News. My book is in the public library in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's also in booksellers, a store downtown in Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been featured on the podcast Unmasked. I've been featured on the TRS radio show. I've been featured on Wounds to Scars, which is a international platform that deals with counseling, trauma, things of that nature. I have been at the Closing the Health Gap. That's also in Cincinnati, Ohio, where they focus on community issues regarding health. So I have an extensive background in this. Of course, this page, TBB Contact 3, has been up probably since 2014, 2015, sometime back then. I don't know. It's been up for a long time. So I've been doing this for a long time. I know others who are doing this work, but I am doing this work as well. First, I'm going to type in the chat hello just to make sure all of my pages are connected. We'll get to a point where you guys will be able to ask questions. And if you type anything in the chat, I will be able to see it. So that's one. That's Periscope is good, YouTube is good, and Facebook is good. Okay. So we're moving along. Now, this is about bringing a basic awareness. I want to welcome you to TBB Contact 3 virtual live class where we learn to save our babies. And that is what this is all about. Are you going to walk away from this video with all the information you'll ever need for the rest of your life? Probably not. However, you will walk away with some knowledge that you may not have had before you watch this video that has the potential to prevent, stop, and eliminate child sexual abuse from happening in your family or to your child or your baby. Now, some of you may not have children, but you may be a grandparent, so you don't have children at home, but you may be a grandparent, you may be an aunt, you may be a school teacher, you may be a pastor or whatever your title may be. or whatever your position may be. You may be over an organization or a group. So this information is going to help you as well. So thank you for joining me. We're going to go ahead on and get into our 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is supposed to last an hour and a half. I was about 15 minutes late, so we're still going to try to wrap it up in the time frame that's allotted. So number one, when it comes to basic awareness, and guys, I had a whole PowerPoint. I had all types of stuff, but it's not working. So you know how they say the show must go on. And so the first thing we want to talk about is basic awareness. Basic awareness is just letting you know what's happening, and then we'll get into the hows and the whys and all that kind of stuff. But first off, what's happening? So we do know that children are being affected by child sexual abuse. That abuse can start anywhere from birth, newborn, actual newborn, all the way up until their college years. That age range is still considered child sexual abuse. Even though if you're 20, 21, and all of that, you're an adult. But if you're in college or something like that, they're still going to consider it. It's still sexual abuse. And so for me, I'm still going to say child sexual abuse, because when you're in college, you are so young. You haven't even got out there and started to begin your life. So college to me is still very much you're just a baby. So um, definitely want to include them. So child sexual abuse can begin as early as a newborn. Now I know I want to give out my trigger warning right here, because there are some of you who are survivors. There are some of you, you've never heard this information before. So for you just to hear it is going to be like, what? So, trigger warning to those who've been impacted by child sexual abuse. I don't want you to miss out on this presentation. I just want you to get your head space in a good space so that we can have this dialogue. Okay, so things that I know. Child sexual abuse can begin as early as newborn. In fact, I am from the home state of Arkansas. In Arkansas, there was a lady who actually cut a child out of a woman's belly to sell into the industry of child sexual porn. Child sexual porn is a $20 billion industry. That's every year $20 billion is made because people use children to perform sexual acts and do all kinds of lewd things that you would never phantom in your mind, but they do. We also have a crisis in America with sex trafficking. If you don't know it, human trafficking, sex trafficking involves sexual abuse of children. So when a child is kidnapped, more than likely they're going to be sex trafficked. Now, one of the youngest persons ever found to be in prostitution or put into the sex trade in terms of the prostitution industry was 8 years old. Now, that was years ago. I'm sure that sadly enough, that number may have dropped, but that is on record. The youngest child put into prostitution was 8 years old. Guys, if you don't know, I communicate with a lot of people who've been doing this work for a long time. I watch a lot of documentaries. I read and study a lot of case files, and that's what I do. I do that so that I can bring you real information in real time, and you will understand how serious this is. So keep it in line with awareness. Just recently, a child was filmed or captured on video doing a virtual live class. So, you know, our children are homeschooling right now. In Chicago, a 7-year-old was on her virtual class live, and a male had her perform a sexual act or in some way was sexually involved with the child. The child has been, picked up by social services, been to the hospital. From my understanding, there's a case going on right now. If you are familiar with Dr. Nesser was one who took care of young teenage girls and young girls in the gymnastics arena. So you know how the little girls go and they do gymnastics and they do all of that. Well, Dr. Nesser was indicted and charged and is right now serving time in jail for harming over 200 girls. Right here in St. Louis, when I used to live in Baldwin out in the county, There was a doctor here who was a father to three daughters who was arrested for molesting, raping, touching inappropriately children who was coming to his practice. There are coaches. There was a coach in Indiana who was indicted and arrested and charged who molested and raped over 11 boys at the school where he was a coach at. There was a coach in Maumelle, Arkansas, who was indicted and charged on the same charges with girls on his basketball team and as a coach. There are so many cases. There is so much knowledge. There's the celebrity. He used to play on the show The Game. What's his name? Jose Sanchez, I think his name is. He came out and said that he was raped and molested as a child. Common came out and said that he was raped and molested as a child. Ellen came out and said she was raped and molested as a child. Oprah came out and said she was raped and molested as a child. The list goes on and on and on and on. And so when we look at this list and we look at what's going on in our country, then you have to understand that these things do happen. Now, a lot of people think, well, it must be people they don't know. It must be some stranger. It must be something weird going on. Well, let me tell you something. 80 to 88% of all child sexual abuse cases involves a family member, family friend, or someone close to the family. Can you say that with me? That over 80% of all child sexual abuse cases are with family members or someone close to the family or a family friend. Someone they trust, right? Someone they trust. The other percentage of those who hurt or molest children is complete strangers, people they don't know, probably have no affiliation with, things of that, things of that nature. And so we have to understand and be aware of how these things happen. Now, one thing that we will do, we will quickly kind of, especially in the Black community, and it's probably true for all communities. We will talk about the creepy uncle or the weird auntie or whatever vibe we want to put attached to it. But in reality, these people are sexual predators. In reality, they hurt children. In reality, that scar lasts for a lifetime. And so in terms of basic awareness, we kind of already know what goes on, but what we don't do, we nobody ever wants to put a finger on it, right? Nobody ever wants to talk about it. Nobody ever wants to call out the person who is doing it. Nobody ever wants to make anybody accountable, and nobody ever wants to go through the steps of trying to. Sorry, my hands were froze. So nobody ever wants to go through the steps of actually doing the work to really help our improve our communities. So awareness is pretty quiet. People are pretty quiet. All the platforms where this could get attention, well, they never quite makes it there, which is why I'm doing this class today. So in terms of awareness, I just want us to feel comfortable that we kind of already know some of this stuff. We kind of already know what exists in our families. We kind of already know about the pastor who likes little girls, and we'll say he likes little girls, but we don't want to call him a sexual predator. We know about the coach who's always flirting with the girls at school, but we don't want to call them girls. We want to call them fast. We know about the boys who might be smashing the teacher, but we don't want to say that the teacher is a predator. We just want to say that the boy is managed, and she ought to be ashamed of herself. But this is actually sexual trauma. This is actual childhood trauma. This is actually going to manifest into a serious issue with the child, whether it's male or female. You see that we have an issue with people connecting and having healthy families. All of this is a breakdown, and part of it is because we have not come to a serious awareness of what happens in our community. Now, this is the book, um, the body book, A Lesson About Inappropriate Touch. This is one cover. Like I said, there's another cover with Hurt People, Help People. In this book, I give you stories that will help you understand and see how sexual abuse happened. A lot of people think sexual abuse is something that's so foreign and so strange. Oh my God, how does it happen? It happens within seconds, it happens within minutes. It takes a sexual predator literally less than 3 minutes, literally seconds, to hurt and harm your child. There was one guy, and it's plenty of cases, but one particular case I remember was at a McDonald's where a young African American boy walked into a bathroom, and when he walked into the bathroom, a predator sexually molested him, touched him inappropriately. I don't know if he made the boy touch him, but he touched him inappropriately. That happened within seconds. You're talking about going to the bathroom to take a leak, and then you walk back out and you tell your dad, "Hey, some dude in the restroom just touched my my penis." So that's how quick it happens. There was one story years ago that I think I added in the book where where kindergartners were, hunching each other, pulling their clothes down, and all that stuff in the school. So other children can touch your children. Could be a relative, could be somebody at school, could be somebody at the daycare center, it could be somebody at the gym, could be somebody at the church, but other children can also sexually abuse and sexually molest your children. So we have to be aware of that. We have to be aware that title does not equal safety. Can you say title does not equal safety? I do this a lot, by the way. Title does not equal safety. Title does not equal safety. I want to make you aware of that. A lot of people think because they're a teacher, a pastor, a security officer, a mentor, a grandparent, a auntie, a community leader. Um, we think that a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout leader, and we know what's going on with that right now, one of the biggest lawsuits on the planet. A priest, we know what's going on with the Catholic Church. So title means absolutely nothing. It's sad to say. I wish title did mean something, but unfortunately, title means absolutely nothing. Title does not mean trust at all. There is absolutely no trust with a title. You have to understand that. There is no trust associated with the title. There is no person on this planet that you can trust with your children. There is no person that you can believe would never do that to your child. And why do I say that? Because statistics have shown us that this is a reality. Now, is everybody a predator? No. Is everybody out to get your kid? No. Is every auntie a bad auntie? No. Is every uncle a creepy sexual predator? No, they're not. But you don't know, do you? So you cannot equate a title or because they're a family member or any of that. You cannot equate that to safety with your child. Now, I can't go through this whole book, which is why I wrote a book, which is why you should get the book. There's no way for me to go through this whole book. So I'm just going to, hit on a couple of things. So I give you some stories. One of the story I give you in the book is a story about a daycare center worker who was molesting children. Now, a lot of us don't think because we think, oh my God, Mrs. Pendergrass, she's so sweet. She loved the children, blah, blah, blah. Whole time Miss Pendergrass kissing your child, performing fellatio on your child, got your child performing fellatio on her. Yes, I'm very raw and to the point. So get with it. And they're doing all of this, and you just dropping your kid off every day, and you're hoping your child is safe, which is why the app that we're going to work on the last 15 minutes of this broadcast is so important, even for your babies that are in preschool, because this app has been tested on children starting at the age of 2, and children at the age of 3 proved to be proficient in using this app. So if a 3-year old can use this app proficiently, meaning to a rate where they can be successful in communicating a message, then a lot of these 2-year olds are pretty smart too. So normally preschool begins at 3, 4 years old. So anyway, I give you a story about a situation that happened in a daycare. Oddly enough, I used to live I used to live in the city, and I took my children to a daycare. I took my children to that daycare, and I took them there for one day. I took them there for one day, and I had a feeling. I just had this feeling like something wasn't right. So I took them there one day and I pulled them from that daycare. I kid you not, 2 weeks later, the same guy that met me at the door to bring my children into the daycare center for their first day of service was the same guy who got arrested for child molestation at the daycare. So all I'm saying is that we want to equip our children. We want to give them what we didn't have, which was a tool to help them report. Okay, so I gave you a story about all of that. Let me flip through this book a little bit, and I'm watching the time. I'm not going to keep you all day. So I also want you to know that 60% of African American females are sexually assaulted before the age of 18. That's very important. 40% of those will be sexually assaulted in some type of way before the age of 12. So you got 60% who are affected by sexual abuse in some form before the age of 18. And then 40% of that 60% is going to happen to them before the age of 12. So you're talking about a huge condition or set of events in our community. Not only that, but if you're not African American, child molestation and rape and sexual assault happens at a rate of 284,000 cases annually. To make matters worse, that number has pretty much increased over the years, decreased in some ways, increased in others. Also, 30% of abortions are requested due to sexual assault. That was when I wrote the book, so I don't know how much those numbers have fluctuated, but that's what it is. Okay, so I already told you about 88% of the victims never report. No, I didn't. I told you that over 80% are a family member or close to the family. So here's another thing. Over 88% of all people who are sexually assaulted never ever report. Now, I cannot get into the whole structural psychological impact that this stuff has on people and how they respond to it when it happens. But I will tell you that there is difficulty in reporting. There is extreme difficulty in reporting, and it ranges from the child feeling like they did something wrong, to the child not understanding what's happening to them, to the child feeling like they're going to be punished if they tell, to the child feeling guilty as if they caused it, to the child fearing that it's going to disrupt or break up their family, to the child just being afraid and not able to face adults. There is just such a broad range of how that all works together. One thing I did add in the book was the component to help prepare parents to be able to help facilitate helping their child to report. And so what I give you in the book is tools to help you build up your knowledge and your response, your timely response. So that brought me to another thing. You have to be aware that there is a timeline in which you need to respond in order to gather the most evidence as possible. After 72 hours of sexual abuse, any type of evidence that has not been secured and handled properly is considered contaminated. So say for instance you were raped. If you wanted to collect the semen and all types of stuff like that, and I know this is hard for you guys to listen to, but I promise you this is awareness that you need to have. They have to do a rape kit and collect all this stuff within 72 hours. That's 3 days. Because the event is so traumatic, most people never tell. And those who do come forward, a lot of them wait for days and weeks on end, and sometimes months, and sometimes years. And now we know people wait until some people wait until they're in their 40s to even tell something even happened to them. So I want to stress to you the importance of reporting and reporting early. I cannot stress that enough. So in the book, I give you guys tools to help you build up your regimen. You know what I mean? Like your ammunition. The proper things you need to respond is what I want to say. So I've talked to you about finding out who is the detective in your area. This is before something even happens. You're going to do homework. So you'll find out who are the detectives in my area. What number do I call at the police department? Yes, you can call 911, but there are other numbers you can call at your local police department to report a sexual abuse or sexual crime. So you want to find out who those people are. If you have a child that's in school, you want to know the number to the social services office. You want to know the number to the principal's office, vice principal's office, the dean's office, the director of what do they call it? Director of I forgot. But you want to know all of those numbers, and you want to know them for every school and every child. So, say you have a child in preschool. So you have one in third grade. So you have one that's in junior high, and then you have one in senior high. So you have one that's in college. You need to know this information for every place your child will be. So if something happens at the church, what's the pastor's number? What's the deacon's number? But you definitely want to know the police numbers, and you definitely want to know the detective numbers in your area. And you definitely want to know the numbers that I have in the book, which are national hotline numbers. Okay? So that prepares you. I also, in the book, I talk to you parents about responding. Now, when I was young, and time is moving on, that we're still on number one, but trust me, we're gonna get to two, and we're gonna get to two, three, and four. I'm gonna wrap this up. When I was young, I was around females who were abused, sexually abused, and guys too. One of the things that happen is when your child comes to you and tells you that they've been abused, parents, it's gonna stab you in the heart. You're gonna feel like you look. You can go anywhere from responding with anger and frustration and blaming your child to totally just being wiped out, as if, you know, it's almost like your mind just shuts down and you kind of just say, well, are you okay? And the child might go, well, yeah. And you say, well, okay, um, let's just move on like nothing happened or whatever. And so let's see. It's my daughter. She's supposed to be on her live with me. Let me send her a link. Uh, let me see. Copy this link. Give me just a second here. And go here. And bam, bam, bam. And send her the link. And there you go. Okay. Okay. So here you are with the child that's in crisis, but you're not ready for the crisis, right? So nothing can prepare you for this crisis except being prepared. So you have to understand where the child is. You have to understand that's not a moment to blame the child. It's not a moment to check out either. So you cannot afford to check out, parents. You cannot let it overwhelm you. You're going to be hurt. You're going to cry. You're going to want to kill people. And if you have access to that person, that might be a move that you make that you cause harm to that person. I'm not here to tell you wrong or right. I'm just trying to prepare you for what could potentially that could, not even saying could potentially happen, but these things do happen. So I want you to be prepared. So in the book, I give parents some tools. You know, you're going to have awareness. You're going to collect these numbers, and then you're going to kind of rehearse a script of how you are going to respond, right? We don't need to be angry to the point where we scare the child, because remember, Maya Angelou said that she was so afraid she couldn't talk for years. So you don't want to be so angry that you make the child scared to tell you the whole story, or you make the child afraid to come forward when it's time to go to court or do a police report or any of that. Okay, so you want to kind of understand that. Like I said, I can't go through this whole book. It's impossible. It's just impossible to go through this book. But it's so much information in there. That's number one. So now we are aware. We are aware that it happens. That's the whole point. We are aware. We're aware that these things do happen. If you go to my page, TbbContact3 on Instagram, or especially Facebook, there are loads and loads of videos, loads and loads of stories. You need to be consciously aware of what is going on and what could potentially happen with your child. I mean, it's so much on this page. Like, oh my God, it's tons, 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 and tons. From pastors, four Austin women reported their sexual assaults, but police and prosecutors failed to hold the perpetrators guilty. So much on here. The brothers that just got arrested in Southwest Missouri, that's on there. They tried to let them off on probation only, but someone got on the judges behind and overturned their decision. Let's see what else is on there? I got on there about my Operation Homecoming. 8 missing children recovered in Indiana. A total of 72 people found in federal sweeps. That's talking about sex trafficking. So let's go to the next one. Because there's a million stories on my page. 25 arrested with sex trafficking. Um, where was that at? U.S. Marshals rescue another 25 missing and sex trafficked children. It's all on my webpage. High ranking cop admits to running sadistic child porn ring on government network while on duty. So this man walked up to my porch, said his daughter is missing. She's been missing since July. U.S. Marshals find 39 missing children in just 2 weeks. Guys, there are so much. Look, Kalamazoo, Michigan pastor accused of sexually assaulting four male victims between the age of 15 and 17. I'm just bringing you to a place of awareness. So go to the page and look all of that up. All right. Next thing we were going to cover is what's number 2? How to identify predators. I think I covered that. Now, what I do want to do is knock down this misconception. We have this misconception that sexual predators are going to be looking like this, like some weird freak. Hey, little girl. Okay, you're going to get those weird, creepy looking people who are like, hey, little girl, you want to get a ride home? You know, all that kind of stuff. But a sexual predator, remember I told you title does not equal safety. A sexual predator is going to look like a regular person. It's going to be the principal. It's going to be the coach. It's going to be your neighbor. It's going to be a friend of your child. It's going to be a teacher. It's going to be a family member, your uncle, your cousin, your nephew, your whoever. These are regular people. They don't look strange. They look like regular people. I remember one time we were sitting in McDonald's. We had taken some special needs students to McDonald's as a field trip or outing. We were sitting there at McDonald's and we were having food, and we allowed two of the children. I don't know if this is special needs or regular class. I can't remember. But we allowed two of the children to go to the bathroom because you got the buddy system. We're sitting there eating and eating and eating. This guy gets up and goes to the bathroom as soon as the two little boys go to the bathroom. So uh, the boys come out of the bathroom, and one of the boys tell us that dude was in the bathroom asking to see their private parts. This is a regular guy, a regular white guy, didn't look creepy. He just so happened to be in McDonald's when we was there and we brought the kids. These are regular people. So don't be looking for just some creepy person. However, you can look for people who have who are frequently with children. I find it strange being a mother of three who raised three children pretty much their whole life by myself. I don't like the coaches who want to pick up the kids and do so much for your kids, and then they want the kids to spend the night at their house. No, 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 no. I don't like the pastors who work with the children and then they want to take the children home or be this whole mentor that's always with the kids. No, 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 no. Because I know that, you know, taking care of kids and being around kids is a job in itself. And I'm not anxious to be doing that all the time. So what I'm saying is that you have to watch people. You have to watch how they engage. You have to watch and see, are they buying your children gifts? Now we don't pay attention to that no more. But are your kids coming up with gift cards? Are they coming up with Bluetooth speakers? I don't know what kids have these days. Cell phones, probably still a thing. Sneakers, money on their cash app. Oh, check that cash app. Check that cash app. I'm telling you right now. In fact, you should be checking all social media from Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. If they have any social media, you definitely need to be checking that. To add to that, there is this new app called Bark. I'm gonna type that in here, BARK. I looked at the app. The app seems pretty legit, for what it's offering. And what they do is, hold on a second. And what they do is Bark alerts you. So say somebody is in their messenger or in their social media chat and they like, hey, how old are you? You look pretty mature for your age. Bark sends you a notification and lets you know something weird is going on. Okay, it's called Bark. Um, it's called Bark, and so you will see that. So when we talk about how to identify predators, you're not looking for some creepy dude. Just understand that you are looking for the creepy dude that look like he trying to ask kids to come to his car or come behind a wall or go in a room or something creepy. But you're also looking at regular people too, because these people, they're not wearing masks. They don't have it tattooed on their head. Hey, I'm a creep. I'm a predator. So you're looking at all people. You're considering all people because you want to protect your child. I want to see what else I got in here about how to identify predators. I'm watching the clock. Okay, let's jump over to page 65. Look, I went to every page but 65. Okay. I can't get into the book. There's so much stuff in here that's so good. Okay. Let's get to 65. All right. Using previous exercise. Next, we will discuss how to spot a predator or how do you identify those who do not respect your body. You will learn to identify those who go beyond the boundaries we have set or those who use inappropriate touch. Remember, everyone deserves respect. First, did you know a predator may seem caring or loving? You may have an instinct or a gut feeling that something may not be right or appropriate, but we want you to keep the exercises in mind. If you feel uncomfortable, it will not hurt you. It will not hurt for you to not associate or be around that person until you find out you are safe. Guys, a lot of us, because he say he the pastor, we feel obligated, to not feel a certain way. Like we might have a little gut feeling that says, something ain't right. But then you go, well, he the pastor. Or, well, he the youth minister. Well, that's her coach. Well, that's my neighbor Ben. Ben is nice. But something in you is saying, not a good call. Trust your gut until you feel safe. Okay? If a person makes you feel unsafe or uncomfortable, say so. Or make it known by turning in the card. So there's some cards in this book. They're called CLA cards, Children Location of Activities. There's actually 4 cards in this book, which we'll go over when we go through the app. Please understand if they do anything inappropriate, fill out the card. So let's talk about the cards. Please understand that a predator can be anyone. Most predators are relatives or close friends of the family. Coaches, pastors, teachers, anyone can be a predator. Mothers molest their sons, fathers molest their daughters, uncles and cousins and aunts sexually assault children every day. If anyone touches you inappropriately at anyone at all, fill in the card and give it to a safe person. So in the book, I tell you how to collect a number of safe persons. So your child will have people to report to. Okay, you will see if you see someone touching inappropriately, turn in a card, keep reading. You are close to finishing. Okay, incestuous behavior. So incest is when family members are touching family members, like brothers to brothers, cousins to cousins, blah, blah, blah. A dad and a daughter, a mom and a son, or a dad and a son, a mom and a daughter, doesn't matter. Incestuous behavior. Incest is an act of inappropriate or criminal sexual behavior among family members. There are cases of this type of behavior throughout the world. It can be a family member. It can be a close friend or relative. Please be warned, it can be someone who is on your safe list. Yeah. So you build up this safe list, and then your nephew tells you that Uncle Todd been asking him to take off his clothes so he can take pictures of him. It could be someone on the safe list. You thought Uncle Todd was safe. He's not. To the children, just remember that anyone who touches your body or uses inappropriate touch should be reported. Do not keep it a secret. Things predators do. Predators will offer you candy, games, electronics, money, and other things. Like R. Kelly, he offered them, hey, you're gonna be a big star. You're gonna be a big singer one day. Offer them promises. Predators will speak up for you and get you out of trouble, so you will trust them. Ooh, that's a big one. A lot of these adults around here being the trumpet for kids. All they want to do is molest and take advantage of your children. Children don't understand that. They think the coach is on their side. They think the teacher is all about them. They think the pastor is on their side. Whole time it's a predator with an ulterior motive. Children don't know that though. Parents, you have to be aware. You have to get this book. You have to have a conversation with your children. Predators will help you so they can get close to you and gain your trust. Gaining trust is the mecca of predators, especially when they're close to the family. Oh, I'll do it for you. Oh, I'll take them. Oh, I'll drop them off. Oh, I'll do this. Oh, I'll do that. Extremely nice, extremely helpful, solution oriented. They want to be there for the child and all of that. So you have to be aware of the fact that this is how they operate. They have to gain their trust. Trust me, they are in no hurry. They take their time. They literally take their time to gain your trust. They are not in any type of hurry whatsoever. And because they know once they gain their trust, once they gain your trust, let me see what she's saying. I'm sorry. They know once they gain your trust, that's all they had planned on doing, so they can do the things that they wanted to do. So you have to be cognitively aware of how these things happen and how to identify predators. You have to get it out of your mind that it's some creepy looking person, because it's not. Let me see. Technical difficulties, guys. Hold on a second. All right. So listen up. Now we're going to talk about intro to sex trafficking. All right. So, in terms of sex trafficking and how it happens, I'm going to debunk another myth for you guys. Oh, let's see. Where's sex trafficking in here? I know I mentioned it. Let's see. Normal respect in the body, setting boundaries. Okay. So let me tell you. Let me go over this right quick because this is important. So we're talking about intro to sex trafficking. A lot of people think sex trafficking is, and it is, I'm not saying it's not, because it is, it's people riding in vans and cars and stuff who pull over, snatch your child, and pull them in the vehicle and drive off with them. Yes, that is sex trafficking. Kidnapping children is sex trafficking, okay? The dude at Walmart who puts something on your windshield, so you'll try to take something off your windshield, and when you try to take it off your windshield, they snatch you and throw you in the van or in the car, and they drive off with you. People who carjack you, take you somewhere, abandon your car, and then they have a car there waiting to pick you up and take you and sex traffic you. Sex trafficking is insane. People have been being sex trafficking is now coming to the forefront, but sex trafficking has been existing for years. I got four girls out of sex trafficking in like 1998 or 2001. It's 2020 now. People have been sex trafficking. There were girls when I was in the seventh grade. There were girls in the seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th grade who were being sex trafficked. They were being prostituted. When I was in the seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade, all grades. There were coaches who would get girls and have parties, and other grown men would come over and have sex with them and give them $20, $40 a pair of sneakers, all kinds of stuff. So sex trafficking has been happening for a very long time. Now I'm going to be joined by my daughter right now, and she may talk about sex trafficking a little bit. So let me get her on screen. Give me just a second.
I don't know what to say.
Girl, how you doing? So this is my daughter Rosie, and she's joining me today. We're just now talking about sex trafficking, and I was just saying that sex trafficking is not just snatching people and throwing them in the van, although that's a part of it. That's what they do. But it's also, I was telling them about how young girls, even at school and stuff, that with these older guys, and then they invite them over, and they're basically prostituting them, hooking them up with other dudes and stuff like that. So sex trafficking is more than just getting thrown in the van and taken somewhere where you don't even know who you are, which that happens. I literally know of a young lady who was sex trafficked. Well, I know, like I just got to tell you, I know a whole bunch of them. But one particular case was this young lady who was sex trafficked and was taken to Las Vegas. And she was made to be a prostitute. I think she was 14 years old when it first happened. And she stayed out there until she was 16 or 17 years old. She ended up getting rescued. And she shared her story to me. But anyway, so sex trafficking happens. And it happens through. Do you guys remember that story not too long ago, maybe last year, about the girl who was kidnapped and her mama reported her kidnapped? And come to find out, she was 16, but her boyfriend was like 23. And a lot of people were like, oh, she lied to the police officer. We don't understand how sex trafficking works. Sex trafficking is an older dude hooking up with a young girl and then taking her, claiming that he'll claim to his girlfriend. But really, he's about to just start using you and taking you back. And that's what they do. And so we watch these movies that involve black actors and black characters, and we watch movies. Name some movies that have now. I know what you're about to say, but name some movies like some black that had pimping in it and things like that that you can think of.
Oh, you talking to me? Ah! Name some movies that had
You know
name
how
some
black
movies.
movies or movies have people in it that's pimps.
Oh, pimps.
So even if you think
Um,
about the movie like Friday, Friday
okay.
had Cat Williams in it, right?
That's right, he was a pimp.
And he was a pimp. If you
Yeah.
think of Hustle and Flow,
Hustle and Flow, yes.
Hustle and
He
Flow, you
played
know
he
it's
played a
hard out
pimp.
here for a pimp. Okay,
Right,
who you pimping? A lot of
right.
these movies depicted young girls who were 16, 17, 18 years old who were what? Out in the streets. A lot of
Yeah.
that is nothing more than sex trafficking. Prostitution itself of young
It's
kids,
yeah.
girls, is nothing more than sex trafficking. And so we have to understand it. Like I said, one case in Missouri, there's an area called, what's the name of the area? There's an area called, um, God, it's an affluent area here in St. Louis. What's the name of the area? It's over by, oh God, oh, it's over by MST MSLTC. It's not fluorescent. It's on the excuse me for saying this, the Caucasian side. Oh shoot, what's the name of that? It is one of the STLCC that's almost like in Midtown. So come to find out, there was a guy who lived over there who had like 3 to 5 young ladies in his basement across the street from the school. This was in 2000 and I want to say I want to say it was in 2000 and let me shut her off. There's a son in there. I want to say that it was in 2000 and what year did I go to school? Back to college. Had to have been 2009, 2010, somewhere in there. So there was a young man who was a professor living across the street, not at this particular college, but it was a man who lived, I can't even say he was a professor. I might be mixing up stories. But he had girls in his basement that was being sex trafficked, that they were on Backpage and Craigslist. So he was connecting people on Craigslist, bringing them over to his house so they could have sex with the girls in the basement, from the basement. And he got busted. There was another case with where the hotel, what's the name of the hotel? What's the name of that hotel? Not Doubletree. What's the one with the trees though? Is it Doubletree? What's the name of some hotels? Let me get my daughter back on here since the sun gone. Mozzie, what's the name of some hotels? Drury Inn.
Drury Inn, Hotel 6,
I think it was Drury Inn.
Homewood Suites, and
There was a case that involved a professor from California. Now I lived in Baldwin, so it was a lady in Baldwin, literally a couple of blocks up. You turn to your right. So there was a lady back there that used to do home daycare. So I didn't have any kids. My son was like 15, 16 years old. But I knew she had a daycare center because I had a friend that lived around kind of around the corner. So when the story broke, I was like, Nicole, that's like right around the corner from you. So what happened was this lady who had a daycare center was taking the children to the Drury Inn in Chesterfield, Missouri, so that the professors and other adults would come and molest and rape the kids at the hotels and stuff like that. So you have to understand that sex trafficking is not just taking people and throwing them in the van. One situation here in St. Louis that erupted was a dude was talking to this young girl. She was in middle school or high school or something like that, and she was having her friends to meet the guy, and she didn't know that the guy had actually picked her to get to her friend. And that's what they do too. They'll choose somebody, a female or a dude, and then they'll use that female or that dude or that child to get other children. And then what they'll do is they'll get them to meet them at the gas station or something like that. And they say, hey, we just finna go out, we just finna kick it. Next thing you know, you don't see your friend no more. Why? You didn't know it, but you were a connection for the sex trafficker. So it happens all the time. One case in Baltimore involved some young ladies, and they were asked to meet a guy at the mall. So she was like, I told my friend to meet me at the mall, which the sex trafficking guy told her to do. She didn't know it was a sex trafficking guy. She thought this was a boyfriend. And so this happened in Baltimore. So she got her friend to meet her at the mall. So can you see how things like this happen that aren't really throwing people in a van and driving off with them? I'm talking to you, Trey.
definitely, yeah. I thought you was just like asking a random question, like getting people to think.
Yeah,
But
no,
yes, definitely.
you too. So you got to think about that. So here you are, you got your friend, and your boyfriend is telling you, "Hey, get your homegirl to meet you at the mall." First,
Right.
your child is not really thinking about why is he even asking me to ask my friend to meet me at the mall? What do he got to do with me and my little friends?
Hmm.
They don't think like that. But if we would educate them,
Right.
right? And teach them, then they would be better prepared. And so then you have a situation where he tells you to invite your friend to the mall. and you think your friend never showed up, but your friend did show up, but he had somebody to intercept her, and now she's caught up in sex trafficking. So if you look up on Google right now, look up on Google right now, sex trafficking and how many children are caught in sex trafficking annually. And we got a couple more things to hit, and I'm gonna let you guys go. So she's gonna look that up right quick. You have to be the one that has the information, that can translate that
You said
information.
how many kids are in sex trafficking?
Yeah, yeah, like sex trafficking, like how many. And I just gave y'all stories about recent sex trafficking and some busts that recently were done. You can go on my Facebook page and you can see the latest stories. I always post them to keep us aware of what's going on.
I know the last time I looked, it said about 200,000 a year.
About 200,000 a year. Now, you know who are becoming more and more the victims of sex trafficking? African American people. When I did this book, the and this is sick and perverted. So trust me, I know it's raw, but I want you to be aware. When I did this book, I think in 2014 and 15, when I released this book for the first or second time, the most requested children for people who wanted to do this crazy, insane stuff and bad stuff to kids was black boys between the age of 11 and 13. So really, this is all about us having a real proactive movement. You said that number was what, 200,000 a year?
Yeah, and it's still 200,000 a year.
It's still 200,000, and so we know that it involves that annually is over 284,000 cases reported. Whew, it's a lot. All right. So 88% never report sexual abuse. Only 1 in 33 males report sexual assault. Only 1 in 33 males. Only 1 in 7 females report sexual assault. Although it is perceived that 1 in 3 females is sexually abused in her lifetime, generally before the age of 18, 40% before the age of 12, and it's perceived that 1 in 7 or 1 in 5 males are sexually abused. And so that means if your child has 21 fellow classmates in their classroom, just think about this. If it's 21 kids in your child classroom, it means 7 of those students, 7 of those children will be or have been violated in their lifetime. Okay? Someone's child will be sexually assaulted. That's a fact. The question is, how do we stop it from being your child? And here's another thing, which is why we're about to get into this app. Oh, look, I just happened to flip to the page that talks about sex trafficking. But we're pretty much done with that. Okay, let's see. So, how do you stop that child if you can't stop them from being sexually abused? Because sexual abuse can happen any place, anytime, anywhere, anytime. How can you stop it? Here's another thing I don't like. It lasts for so long, like years. You know, when are the most? When do people talk about what happened to them? When do people generally talk about that?
When they're an adult in their 30s, most of the time.
30s. A lot of them is actually their 40s. I believe it happens in their 40s because we all know just from life, 40s you don't give a crap. 40s you don't care what nobody think about you. You've lived life, you've had experiences. So 30 to 40 years old is generally where it happens at. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about this. Um, Most victims come from dysfunctional homes where that's getting into prostitution too. So I won't talk about that too much.
Have
Um,
you talked about the? I'm sorry, I don't know if I can't. I know I was late.
oh, show
Um,
them the book. Show them that book.
I don't know if you had you
We're going.
talked.
It's good. You're good. Show them the book. They can't see it. Show them the book.
Can y'all hold on? Wait, you can
There you
see the
go.
book. Hurt
Okay,
people,
so you
help
see, hold
people.
on, let's keep it up. So you see two different books. It's the same book, guys. So if you go to Amazon, same book, two different covers. They're both on Amazon. So these it's the same book, Hurt People, Help People, and the Body Book. Okay. Okay, say what you're gonna say. Say what you're gonna say.
I didn't know if I missed it because I came in a little bit late, but
You're
had you
fine.
talked about the book yet and how to, and the chapters on how to prevent and prepare and inappropriate touching, and
Where I
had
tell you
you
what, I have, but I want you to speak from what you learned from the book and what you want to share from the book. You don't have to go into a whole thing. I'm just saying, whatever you want to drop, drop it.
well, first of all, I want to give my mother some praise on how well written and informative
Oh,
this book is.
wow.
Um, I was very taken back at how in depth she tried to go to get parents in the mindset of how easily inappropriate touching and things can happen with your kids, and how a lot of times we don't. There's one part where the girl comes in the house and she doesn't tell her mother what happened to her, and the mother asks what happened and she said she didn't want to talk about it, so the mom didn't probe her any longer. She just left it like it was. And I'd like to question in the book where my mom said that's not where we should leave it as parents. You should want to know what is making your child upset, what is making them uncomfortable, why are they feeling the way that they're feeling, basically. Like, we need to ask those types of questions in general, to be able to help our kids know what's going on with them. But I do like how she breaks down the importance of it, and I like the different chapters that she has in here that speaks about the steps that we can take to be able to identify and teach our children about sexual predators. So the book is very, very informative. I'm not gonna lie, I was really surprised and
What?
how I was really surprised at how good my mom did.
Oh, thank you,
I was really
baby.
surprised at how good she did and all the information that she put in here. Um, if you after chapter one, which is full of the stories and kind of giving you basically an introduction to how these things can happen and how they can be occurring and we not even know about it just
Right.
because we haven't been made aware of how to look for these types of things, because we think that it does not occur when really it happens all the time.
All the time.
Um, a lot, especially with and I do like how the one part the locations, she basically says after one of the stories, and I'm just reading a little part of it. After one of the stories about a girl at a house party, it says, where will your son or daughter have their first encounter with a person trying to force themselves on them sexually? And I like how she identifies that it could be at a party, family gathering, or any type of celebration. It could be after school when they finish practice. It could be at their friend's house. It can happen at church. And a lot of times we don't think about those being locations, and they actually are. So I like how she went into try to make us aware that any place that your child can be at, any event or any function that they can be attending, something can happen in minutes that can affect your child for the rest of their life. Um, and then she has like one part in here where it's a chart, and it just shows you that it is evenly, like pretty much equally, those locations, anything can happen at any point in time. One location is not greater than the other. It doesn't happen more at church, it doesn't happen less at home, it does, like it can happen equally in both of them. And then there's another part that she goes into how reporting is so important, and how that it can also go not be done. And so on chapter 31 it says reporting and follow through with a report are the two most important things you can do. And in regards to the reporting, that is when you have to talk to your children and see what's going on so that you can, like when she said that, we have to ask questions. Don't just leave that, I don't want to talk about it. No, we need to talk about what's going on, because if there's something that needs to report it, you need to be able to report it. And I like how she put emphasis on how reporting to authorities is what really needs to be done. Because in a lot of these cases, in one of her stories, it's about a child at daycare, and the child, he does not know how to express to his mother what's going on. He's just a kid. He's like 3 years old. And so when the school finds out, because they've been getting a lot of complaints from parents, when the school finds out that what's going on with the teacher, because the kids are not progressing in her class, they quietly fire the teacher and pretend like she resigned, when really she was messing with the children. And when the parents brought it to their attention, they like, oh, we didn't know what was going on, but we'll help you get therapy, because they're a prestigious school and they don't want to ruin their reputation. So they are admitting fault without admitting fault. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I like how it made a point in the book that schools and places, will try to sweep things under the rug by still allowing you to get the help that you need, but they don't want you to actually go and say anything to anybody. And that happens in a lot of cases, that the schools or, other places that kids can attend will sweep things under the rug. And a lot of times parents just think, well, they're going to take care of it, so I'm not going to say nothing to the authorities. When really you need to, because in that story, that lady's fired. So now she's at another school doing something to another kid. And the cycle is
Right.
just going to continue. And that's why it's so important that reporting and follow through, or following through is the two most important things that you can do. And I just think that it's awesome that when you get the book, when you start going on to the next sections, you have prevent and
Mhm.
preparation, which is going to teach you. I'm doing a live right now, which is going to teach you how to be prepared, especially as single parents, because you're working a lot and um, you trust other people to take care of your children sometimes, and a lot of times that is where these situations happen. I like the chapter 4, which goes over rehearsing appropriate touch and inappropriate. Rehearsing appropriate touch versus inappropriate touch with your children. It gives you activities and exercises to do to be able to make them aware of how to know the difference. And then you have chapter 7 about identifying possible predators. Um, it gives you, again, more exercises on how to be able to identify those people for yourself and also for your children. And then the last part of the book, it goes into about those CLAs, which I'm not quite sure if she said anything about it, but CLAs are children locations of activities, which we basically already discussed. And at the end of the book, you will see that she has the card for a kids to be able to tell you what happened, where it happened at. It's got like a male body, it's got a female body, and then it has a section where you can fill out, where the child or the person can fill out the things that are going on with them. And then it gives you a lot of links about other important websites and things if you want to go and look at those. But the book is amazing, and I would highly suggest that any parent should have something like this, because unfortunately, this is something that really does happen um, every day in the world that we live in. It's not something that's spoken about enough, like we do everything else in the world. Everything has awareness. I have a kid with a disability, so there's awareness for that. Breast cancer awareness, mental health awareness, but there's just the domestic violence awareness, but there's not enough awareness that go it's month for sexual abuse, and there probably there really needs to be one. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of go through the book and tell you
Well,
my
thank
favorite
you,
parts.
honey. Thank you. You brought a couple little tears to my little eyes here. But
Whatever.
listen, here's the thing, there are organizations, plenty of organizations that do focus on child sexual abuse and awareness. However, in our community, there is very, very little talk. And then the organizations that do exist, somehow they don't get the platform and the exposures that like a Red Cross or Susan G. Komen
Right.
gets.
And that's what I
So
mean when I say, yeah,
I can see what you're saying, because Susan G.
they're
Komen,
not
we're having
they're
a
not
walk.
readily available. Yeah,
Yeah, we're having a
easily
Susan G.
accessed.
Komen walk for
Right,
cancer.
right,
But autism, we're having a walk for autism.
right,
But when it comes to sexual assault, even though it happens,
right. We like, shh,
we
nobody
like
won't.
we
What?
crickets. Don't
Right.
nobody say nothing. Don't nobody bring it up. So I understand that. Now we're gonna jump to downloading this app. Can you go through those cards right quick and show them the different and show them the different pages and explain what's on different pages, because those are the cards that we're
She,
about to show you that are actually in the app. So I'm going to download the app on my side. She's just going to show you each page and explain to you what's on each page while I'm downloading the TBB Contact 3 reporting app. And we're going to have a 10-15 minute training on that app. May not even be that long because it's really easy. But we're going to have like a 10-minute training and or 15 minutes, and then I'm going to let you guys go. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for, if you have any questions, um yeah, somebody put in there, which is weird because we live in such a overly sexualized society. Yeah, that it's weird that way. Like we we
yeah,
heavy on sexual stuff, but we don't
yeah,
talk about the stuff that harm us. You know what I mean?
exactly.
So I totally agree with that. If you have any other questions or comment, you can type them and I can see them on my side. I'll go back and check it. You can even type them on my page, TBB Contact 3. I'm connected to Instagram, but I can't see any comments on Instagram because it's live on Instagram. But YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, definitely type in the comment section, and I can see it on my side. Thanks for joining me, everybody that's joining me. Share, tag your friends, and do all of that. Get them over here to see this video. We're about to go through this app. She's about to explain the 4 critical cards that literally will change your child's life if they find themselves in this situation. Every home should have them. So I'm gonna let her go through those while I'm pulling the app up. So let me get back over here. And there you go. Oh, I did that wrong.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of go through the very, because it's at the very back of the book. So at the very back of the book, it says
Your Wi-Fi froze.
mark the area on the card, identify gender.
Your Wi-Fi freezing. You're freezing.
Am I back now?
You're still slow. You're like dragons. I don't even see any bars on your thing. So do something.
I got a lot of bars.
You should. Your husband is the man.
I mean,
Let's
it said
see.
it has 4 bars on mine. I'm all in the green.
I think you're good now. Let's go back.
Oh, she done fell out. But anyway, I was just saying, I was going to kind of read the description part in the back of the book. This is what CLA locations kind of look like in the back of the book. They tell you that they are home, school, church, and other locations. You have the option for other locations, but those first 3 are the main places where things like this happen. On this side of the page, page 81, it gives you kind of like a description of how you need to fill out the next portion on the side of the card. So the first part of the card is where you can write. It's called CLA, again, stands for Children Locations of Activities. So on this side, the child or person can write down where the place happened. They can draw something or give a description or whatever. The other side of the card, and this is kind of different inside of the app, but it's still pretty much the same. If they know the name of the predator, they can put that person's name on there. Um, on this page right here, they can say if there were any witnesses. They can tell you what time it happened, the clothes they had on, that kind of stuff.
So, can you put the page up there so they can see the page? So they can see the actual pages, like literally see them.
So I was holding them up, but here's the CLA portion, where you can kind of draw or give a description of where the location happened. Let's just say you wanted to, you told them it happened in the school, but you're not quite sure, but you can draw a description of where it happened in the school, like if it was a janitor's closet or a locker room, if the kid can do that. Page 85, again, is the page about um, name the predator, any identifying body marks, the clothes that they had on, the clothes maybe you had on, any witnesses that may have been there, that can attest to what happened, um, the language and other any other identifying information, like did they speak English, did they speak Spanish, things like that. The next page, the next two pages are your pages where a child or whoever that person is can mark where they were touched. And at the very bottom, you also have some options of what happened. Even an option for Facebook. Like maybe someone took your picture on Facebook and did something inappropriate with it. You can even mark that on here. The sexual assault, you can mark where it happened. Um, the inappropriate touch, bullying, cyberbullying, again, social media, posting photos and people uh, photoshopping things, that's still inappropriate things. And that's for a female. And you can say whether you were the victim, the offender, or a possible offender yourself. And then the same thing with the guy. It gives you, again, another picture of what you can mark on that person of where it happened um, on your body. And that's pretty much it with those four cards. That is pretty much it. And the book tells you
Okay.
how you can fill it out.
All right. Thank you. So
Hmm.
listen, we're gonna go through this app. Not, I ain't trying to go through it really quick because I want you to get it. This tool that I'm using is supposed to have screen share, but it doesn't have screen share. So it's kind of hindering me from moving through this fluidly like I wanted to. However, um, let me stop this. I'm just going to show you what the app looks like. This is my phone. So as you can see right here beside TikTok, oh Lord, I'm going to repost on Instagram. You can see right here beside TikTok, you see TBB Contact 3. Put that up in the camera. Yep. You see the little colorful right there by TikTok, right up under my WordPress page, right above Amazon. That's TBB Contact 3. Now, I put it in a link. So it should be showing on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So if you're on any one of those, you ought to be able to pull this link up. Okay? Why is it installed twice on here? I just noticed it. It's installed here and here. That's it right there. And that's it right there. Same link. All right, let's tap this and see what happens. So we're talking about the app that allows your child to report. Easy to use. You're going to see a little stereo, a little radio, which is why I have the little radio book. You can get whichever one. Sometimes the adult like the more adult looking book. Okay, and the kids will pick up this one. When I'm at book fairs and having workshops and stuff, the children be like, "Mom, get that one." Okay, so here's the app. This is what it looks like when you download it. Uh-oh. Do you have yours open? Do you need to go? Are you okay?
Oh no, I'm fine. I was trying to open it up on my computer
Okay,
to
okay.
see if I could possibly share it because I can't. You can't screen share on your phone, but you can on the laptop.
Oh, okay.
But I
I
mean, I
thought you
can
could only
clearly,
do that on,
I could see yours.
yeah, I thought you could only do that on a Mac. So here's the app. Now, right down here at the bottom, you have, this is gonna be impossible. I'm so mad my share screen don't work. Okay, so this is the app. At the bottom, you have some little keys, some little things, little features. The first thing I want you to do when you download this app, you see how you can share it. You can share it. You can share it through a QR code. You can share it through what's that? Can't even see. Messenger, like a regular text message. You can share it through Facebook. You can share it through Twitter. You can even share it through what's that? Pinterest? Yeah, Pinterest. So that's QR code, email, text message, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. You literally can send this link to anybody, any kind of way you want to send it. It's a link. You know how to send links. Okay. Next thing, now I got a piece of sunlight in my eye. So down here at the bottom, let's do some clicking and see what we get. Yep. Okay. So first you're gonna get your little bar that tells you everything that's on here. So you have your share button, which we're already looking at. You got photos, which is just some photos I downloaded. April is Sam. Okay. And then the next button is going to be, let me get to it. It says steps 1, 2, 3, Rockstar. When you click on that, now here's the good training part. I'm doing this backwards, y'all, from behind, so bear with me. Okay, it takes you to this page. Now, when you get to this page on the app, on a computer or your phone, my phone looks gross. Sorry. I'll be tapping on this thing. It's probably this little screen I got on here too. All right. So when you get here, you're going to scroll down. Now you can watch a little video clip here if you wanted to. So I'll click there and a YouTube video going to pop up.
Hmm.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, you can hear it.
Okay, so that's our little video. Now, another thing you can do is just keep on scrolling. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Now, right here, you can barely see it, but right there is where you have your card. So if you click on the card, it's going to take you to this screen. Now, on this screen, your child can mark whatever they want to mark on this card, which is just like what's in the book, except for it's on your phone. Now, what you're going to do is, let me put some marks on here. Fill out a copy. It's got a little button say fill out a copy. You hit that. Sign in with your Gmail account. You sign in.
Well, let me join. I'm gonna exit out on my phone and then I'm gonna come back in on my laptop.
Okay, you cool. Go ahead on and do it. Money. Okay. So I tap fill in the card, fill in a copy. Oops, I ain't even showing y'all. Whew. It's hard to do like this. This is why I want to screen share. Okay, so here we go. Here's the card. All right. This is what I want you to see. Once you start filling out the card, it actually has um let me see if I have to. Are you back on with your computer?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. You can do screen share.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, so once you get here, you can actually draw on this. It has like little pencils and all this stuff up here. So let's click on the little pencil or pen or whatever. Let's do the little pencil. And you can actually draw. Well, hold on.
So I
I
think you have to
can't do
let.
it like that.
I think you have to let me in on the other one.
Oh,
Can you see my screen?
and see your screen. Close that one out. Ooh, she got a good one. Wait a minute. How you sharing my screen? That's my screen. Okay, go ahead on to the app. My computer make me sick. Maybe I need to be on a laptop. I should have been on my what's the name? Okay, instead of the desktop, I should have got on that Chromebook. Girl, look at me. It's hard to do this from she. Okay, get to the app, girl. Go back to the app. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
I'll talk them through what you're doing because I can't have. Well, hold on. Let me see. Let me um. Let me see how I can set this screen up. Okay, I can hear you. Let's go through the screen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
All right. Well, let's get the screen share up. Go to the app.
So, well, if you are on Facebook, right here on TbbContact3 is where you can copy the link to download the app. If you are on a computer, or I think it does differently on a mobile device, it's right here. You just take that link, and that's how you download the app off of the Facebook page. So you put it in your search bar, and it's going to come up just like this, or send you to the store to download it, and then you can
Okay, I
go
see
from
where you
here.
are down at the bottom of the screen. Okay. All right. So when you get on this app, click the share button. This is a desktop version, by the way. All right. So when you get on the share button, it's gonna have the QR code, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. Go back up because I think this is like mine. Okay. So go to photos. And then it gives you like little photos I posted. We already been through that. And then go through step one and step two and all of that. There's where you can click on the video, but we don't need to do all that. We just did it. Now scroll down. Here's where it gets good. Right there where you see those links, this is what your child can fill out. Now, if they're on a mobile device, the good thing about it is, look, I don't need you showing all my business. Let's see, that's your page. All right, so if you're on a mobile device, the good thing about it is you can click on go ahead on and click on it so you can make changes on here like you need to make whatever changes you want to make.
Like, click on the person.
No, like fill in the card. So at the top, let me hold on, stop right there. Let me remove my logo so you guys can see what she's doing. Can you make that screen smaller so they can actually see it? Because it's only getting the top of the head.
Hold on. Let's see.
No, like go back to the app. Okay,
Yeah,
go up there in the
yeah.
right hand corner with a three dot set. Go in the right hand corner with a three dot set. No, the three dots. dots by the purple L. Yeah. And zoom, yeah, yeah. Kind of, yeah, 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 yeah. Good. Go back up a little bit. Awesome. All right. Now we want to get our little thingy on there so we can do fill in the card, like our little drop box with pencils and stuff.
It's so tiny I can't see.
Go click on fill in the card.
Hold on, because I can't see.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's get that set up and then go back and do that.
So you can print out the card or you can download it.
You can print and download it.
So you click field copy. It looks like it's gonna make you
Yeah, you got to sign into your email account. And a lot of you guys don't be scared of this part because your children have Gmail accounts. They had to make them in order to do virtual school. So don't be scared of this part. This part, make sure you ain't giving people too much information here. So this part is what we need. So don't be afraid. Your kids know how to get online. You ain't got to be scared. And as soon as she gets on the actual page again, so we can make some, then we'll go back to it. So yeah, your children are already used to virtual, so yeah, they should be fine. Okay, and I'm gonna go back to full. I'm sorry, guys. Give us a couple of more minutes. You've been so patient. This would have been so much easier if I could have got on my screen and shared my screen. What happened? What happened? Okay, so the show must go on, as they say. All right, let's flip back to my phone. I think her battery was about to die. Did she get back on? We got 10 minutes. Okay. All right, get to the page.
You see it? Okay. I was
Yeah.
waiting on you to let me back in.
You ready?
Oh, yep.
All right, you got your pencils and stuff at the top. You gotta over on the right hand side, it has a little section that says actions. On the left hand side, I'm sorry. On the left hand side, look now. On the left
Which
hand side, where it
this
says
is the
where you toggle over where the D is, it should be a drop down box that says actions.
there is
When you
field
click on
copy.
actions, it's gonna give you the pencils and stuff.
No, it didn't give me no pencils. You see what it's giving me?
Let me take a look. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hit field copy. Hit field copy
Right.
at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Ah,
All right.
what happened? Cancel.
Why does it keep doing that?
Okay.
I think you hit field copy.
I did.
No, hit it right there. Go down on the blue. Go
Oh
down to
yeah.
the blue. Yeah. There you go. All right. Now over at the D, when you click on the D, you should have had another button to click. But when you click on the D on the left hand side, it should give you an action box, a drop down action.
Okay, here we go.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna get it right in a second. Hold on. There we go. Okay, now did you get it? Oh yeah. You got the pencils. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. This is so much easier on the phone. I promise you it is. All right. So once you get your pencils, okay. Okay. So let's show them what we got on the card so far. Go to the top of the card. You said me, and I guess the somebody kissed you, and then scroll down, and then maybe touch your genitals. Okay. So we're gonna at the bottom. You're gonna mark. Let's see what you got marked at the bottom. You're gonna mark inappropriate touch or whatever happened. So let's just mark inappropriate touch. And you can put an X. Yep, you can put an X right there, or you can draw it with your pencil. All right. And so what you would do if you were on a phone, you would screenshot that, and then they would send it to the safe persons that they have on their list. They can screenshot that and send it to the search person on their list, or they can email it to you. They can email it, they can text messages, they can screenshot it, whatever they want to do, they can do it. Okay? Try to use the pencil. Well, you already used the pencil, but let them see you use the pencil. Click on the pencil,
Draw the
okay?
pen.
Whatever, pencil, pen, and just let them see you scribble, scrabble, circle some stuff. Yeah. So that you can do that with your finger. That's like super, super easy. Like super easy. Okay. Let's click on another card. Let's try another one. Let's see here. That's gonna give you the field. So you can now when you click on the fields, you can actually type in. So you'll have to go back to the app and click on the next. Okay, click on the other actions again. Other actions. Well, yeah, you can finalize, but click on it. Are you listening to the instructor, man? Okay, so right here, look, it says you can share or send, you can download or export, and you can also print. So there are a lot of ways your child can get this information to you. You can make a copy, or you can destroy the document, whatever you want to do. All right, let's click on another card. Let's click on the description card. Go back to the app and click on the description card. There you go. And then we're going to do, all right. You have not permission to view this page. Sign out. Look, what in the world? All right, go back to the app and see will it let you in. Could be something crazy going on.
I don't know.
All right, go back to the app. See if we can get the location card up. Is that gonna give you problems? Now, what's wrong with the other one? Maybe I need to go check the settings on it. Guys, this is what I like about this page right here. It says child location of activities. She's going through the steps to fill it in. They can't see you going through the steps going that fast.
Um,
Well,
I hear.
go ahead on and go through the steps. She's gonna go through the steps. All you have to click on is fill in copy, and then it's gonna ask you to fill in copy again. You gotta scroll down and click that blue box at the bottom, and then you can go on to the next step. So let's get that back on board. All right. Now, what I added to this card was because African Americans and our children are having frequent engagement with officers, I wanted to offer a little bit more protection. So I did add, or a place where the police officer confronted, stopped, or asked you questions. Now, with this, yes, your child can draw on it and do all of that. However, if you look up in the top corner, doesn't it give you an option to click on a map or something like that? Go over. That's a pointer. What's that insert a picture? Okay, hold on.
Let's see if you got a picture to insert.
Well, it's another part on there where you can, like, you can, yeah, that's what we did. That's what we did. So basically, you can like if you go on the website and you do a screenshot of the oh, this is what I so part of, in the book, part of what you do is you have pictures and maps of your child location of activities. So then, and I'm talking about an aerial shot that shows like the building or whatever. And so, if something were to happen, they can drop that pic right on this page because it allows them to upload pictures. That's what that was. Or they can draw it like she's doing right now with the little pencil or whatever. Again, you can screenshot that. You can send it to your parent. They can send it to you via email or whatever the case may be. Okay, guys, it's been a hard road today. Thank you for thank you for sticking with us. You see the arrow pointing up there to finalize. But that's generally the steps that you have to go through to do all of this. One more look at the app. Let me take it back right quick. So it's document finalized, and all you have to do is send it. It's just that easy. We had a little technical difficulties because we on this computer and we trying to work together, but that's pretty much it. And then the last page, click on that last page on the app.
What page?
Go back to the beginning of the app. Oh God, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm yawning. Don't forgive me. Yeah. So you have updates. This connects you to the Facebook page. You don't have to click on it, but it connects you back to the Facebook page. And then click on the last one that says, yeah, then hold on. I see something. So RAIN is an organization, and you can call them if something happens, and they'll help you direct you. Stop It Now and Joyful Heart. Okay, so I put those links on there for you. If you need to contact someone, they'll help direct you as well. So scroll back up, if you don't mind, darling. Thank you. And contact three contacts. Okay, so there you have a map, and they can screenshot and use that map to send you as well. And then you can type that in here, and I believe that actually sends the information to me. If you put it in this box, it's coming to me. If it comes to me, I'm gonna call you because I'm gonna try to help you. Okay. But what I want you to do is send it to your family members who you trust and know, and you guys already have a system set up. So that's the review of the app, guys. Woo, that was a tough road. We're gonna try to get that together. But thank you for joining me for TBB Contact 3 training. Thank you to my lovely daughter who took some time out of her day to help me do this live, this virtual live. Thank you so much for your input. I appreciate you. Where you can find the book, the link is in the bio. You basically can use my link tree. And if you use Linktree, you can scroll right to the book, Hurt People, Help People. And I think I have the one um, I think I have the body book on there too. Can you go to that link tree so they can see that link tree so you can, and just because you can share your screen? I'm sorry. Go to that link tree. Oh,
You
okay.
gotta let me.
Huh?
You got you gotta let me back on the air with sharing the screen because I had stopped sharing it.
You
Can you
got
see it?
already? Who's sending me messages? Hold on. All right, so you got link tree up already
On what?
on your screen share.
Are you talking about? Are you on the Facebook page or the app?
No, link tree. Did I put it in my Facebook? Let me see this if it's on the
You
Facebook.
mean like put Linktree in the
Oh,
Google
you can
bar?
go to link tree. You can go to the Facebook page, and the link is on the Facebook page.
Yeah, for the book is right here.
You on the link tree?
Do you want me to go to Linktree? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
here.
yeah. So on the app, I mean on the face. Oh, go back to the Facebook page. All right. So on the Facebook page, if you scroll down, you can see there's the link to Linktree. All right. So tap on the link to Linktree. All right, and then you can just scroll down to the book. Okay, I have both of them on there, and it takes you straight to Amazon. Well, it takes you to my website, and then keep scrolling. I think you passed it. Yeah, right there. Where you see the books at. You're on a desktop. If you're on a phone, it pops up immediately. She on a desktop. Go back up, baby. Right there. Okay, you can click on the book. So click on Her People Help People book. Yeah,
I am. It's not doing nothing.
got to give it time. You
I
clicked
clicked
on
on the other book.
it. Okay.
Hurt people not help. You probably want to check that link because when I click on it, it's not doing
Do
anything.
anything, click it.
I did. I've clicked on
Oh,
it several times.
that's weird. Cause I
The
checked
only
it.
one working is your legacy book. So you can check that out.
Okay, I'll go back and check that out. But it's on Amazon. You can just go to Amazon and order it. All right, amazing people. Woo! This has been a little trial and error, to say the least. But we fair weathered through it. So thank you for joining me on this live. I know some of you guys had to go. Please share this with a friend. Again, thank you to my love bug, my daughter, for joining me on this live and for her input. Anything else you want to say, Tracy? I call her Tracy. Uh,
No.
so anyway, thanks for joining me on this live. This is Kathleen, your conscious coach, the author of Hurt People Help People and the body book, A Lesson About Inappropriate Touch. We will see you guys the next time. Have a great day.